challenges are part of what we build. If you don't go through this, then you're not going to build something sustainable. You got to go through the challenges. And as an entrepreneur, I don't see them as challenges. I see them as lesson learned. What do you learn? Because every challenge that comes in, you have to learn something from it. If you're not learning something, I don't think you can be an entrepreneur.
Hi, my name is Courtney, and welcome to How They Scaled It, where scaling is done with both sides of the brain. Today, I'm excited to welcome Andre Wouansi. With a passion for entrepreneurship and transforming legal operations, Andre has built an impressive career in the legal tech space. He founded Accurate Legal Billing, a cutting-edge AI-powered time tracking and billing platform designed to help law firms improve billing accuracy, enhance operational efficiency, and optimize revenue. Andre's deep understanding of the legal industry and his drive for innovation have made accurate legal billing a game changer for firms looking to streamline their financial processes and increase profitability. Andre, it is such an honor to have you here today. Welcome to How They Scaled It.
Thank you, Courtney. Thank you. Such a pleasure to be on your show today.
Amazing. Well, I want to start with kind of where accurate legal billing came from. I know that you had a background in accounting and financial services, and now you're in legal tech. So, what led you to start Accurate Legal Billing, and how did you make that transition?
Well, that's a very interesting question, considering the background that I have coming from being a tax advisor in the UK to becoming an entrepreneur and building in the bigger tech. 20 plus years ago, I owned a company that audited bills
Mhm.
for law firm bills and across about 65 countries. We worked for some of the largest carriers and TPAs, self-insured corporations across the United States, Canada, UK, and Australia, etc. So I work with these guys and I save through my company billions of dollars
Mhm.
over the course of 2 decades. So I saw law firm making the same mistakes again and again and again and again, which means that not only their invoices get delayed because of no payments, they're spending time back and forward with e-billing auditor like my employees,
Mhm.
etc. So this is a cash flow nightmare for some law firms.
Yeah.
So I left my previous company and said, you know what, I'm going to do something about this. I'm going to help these people write time entries and better describe the time the task so that they can get paid and they don't have to be going through these nightmare disputing reductions on their bills. So I came from reviewing bills to help the law firm prevent somebody like me from cutting their bills.
So you kind of worked yourself out of a job a little bit.
Well,
Was that
I
transition?
believe I
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
yeah, I believe that sometimes, you know, um, you realize certain things, some problems that you probably part um, of the problem, if I can say that, and you could also be part of the solution. And that's exactly what happened in this scenario. I was part of the things that happened with the issues that we law firm experience, and to becoming uh, uh, the leader of the solution to their problem.
Yeah. It's almost like you kind of saw, like, in the future, you knew that someone was going to solve this problem. Someone was going to eliminate this role that you were currently in. And so it's better to be part of that solution than to be the thing that gets left
Exactly.
behind, right?
Exactly. And like I say to lawyers, would you trust somebody who had no experience to go and defend you? Or would you want someone who's been there, done it to defend you?
Yeah.
So And sometimes people say to me, Andre, when I present my platform and say, this solution can only be created by someone who audited bill or someone who was sophisticated by the people who audited their bills.
Yeah.
I say, you're right.
You're the man for the job.
I believe so.
So, going from accounting and financial services to legal tech, I mean, that's like a pretty big
Yes.
jump. And were you a developer? Did you have like experience in developing, or did you just work with developers like with your vision?
Never been a developer in my life. Never want to be one. It's a great job. I love it. I love seeing people um, doing what they do.
Mhm.
And I'm more of a visionary person.
Yeah.
I concept, I build things in my head, and then other people bring that to life. And that's exactly what happened with ALB. Um, as an accountant, you get trained to think in a logical fashion, right? Just like the developer did.
Mhm.
Um, I think there is a kind of synergy between what I did as an accountant or as a tax advisor um, to what the developer did. So it was a very, I wouldn't say easy, but e- easy enough transition from being an accountant to what I was doing. So my previous company, I took the position of finance. I was the CFO and the COO of our group. And then when I left, I created the ALB to solve that the problem with OCGs.
Yeah. Awesome. And uh, so it kind of sounds like you align really well with web developers just because of that like logical analytical thinking that you both have. So your vision was able to be translated pretty well into accurate legal billing,
Correct.
the platform we see
Correct.
today. But were there
Yes.
any like challenges as you guys were getting started with building out the initial product?
Well, like in any, whether it's any company, any business that you start, there's tremendous amount of challenges. I remember you going to see someone where I spoke to him and said, "Hey, I'm going to," and somebody I'm not going to name him because he's well known
Mhm.
in the industry. I saw him. I said, "Look, I have this solution. I'm going to build it to help law firm." His replies was, I'm not sure that's going to work."
Mhm. Mhm.
I said, "Well, this person, this person tells me that he's not sure it's going to work, that the law firm going to appreciate it." And I'm like, "Well, I helped you over the past 2 decades, saving tons of money. So are you saying that you fear that's the way I looked at it. I'm
Yeah.
like, he's fearing what I'm going to bring to the market, what impact that's going to have on a company like his, right? Because now I'm going to show people how they can comply so they don't give away their money,
Right.
right? So this reduction do not happen. So for me, challenges are part of what we build. If you don't go through this, then you're not going to build something sustainable. You
Yeah.
got to go through the challenges. And as an entrepreneur, I don't see them as challenges. I see them as lesson learned. What
Yeah.
do you learn? Because every challenge that comes in, you have to learn something from it. If you're not learning something, I don't think you can be an entrepreneur. You
Yeah.
got to be learning from every step that comes in.
Right. And also just like the mindset of if you're
Yes,
looking at challenges as a bad thing, like that's going to get pretty hard pretty quick because there's so much of it. So if you're able to shift that mindset and really see it as an opportunity and to like learn and
correct.
to grow, that's a lot easier to to take as a person day in and day out.
That's true. And quite often when I'm one of those entrepreneurs that if you say no to me, I don't hear it as a no. What I hear is a yes.
Yeah.
You say to me that something is not good. What I'm hearing is very good.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So because you cannot allow people to bring you down. You can't. People sometimes do not understand the ideas that you have in your head. They don't know your vision. They don't know where you go. And if you just get people feedback and based on that feedback, you decide to go left or right, you might end up in the wrong place. So you got to make your own decisions. And every feedback for me is a positive feedback. You got to have a positive mindset.
Yeah.
Um, you're not gonna crush me by giving me a negative feedback because for me, as I say, it's all lesson learned.
Mhm.
I have to understand when you're giving me feedback, where's that coming from? Where's the place that feedback's coming from? If it comes from a good place, I'll take it.
Mhm.
If it comes from a bad place, I'll leave it exactly where it is and carry on.
Yeah. Yeah, just having the perspective of like not everybody knows all the context, and it
Exactly.
is important to like understand constructive
Correct.
feedback and make those changes, but you do
Yes.
really need to be kind of the eternal optimist as an entrepreneur.
Exactly. And
So,
and and that's one of the lessons that I try to teach your entrepreneurs today.
mhm.
Look, never take to heart any feedback that's been given to you because nobody knows where you're going to end up tomorrow. Only you and God knows. Because at the end of the day, you got to do your work. You got to keep it going. If not, you're never going to reach it. And people quite often give up before they get to the point where the company is going to turn and be successful. And they give up.
Yeah. Well, so your original vision of accurate legal billing to where it is today, like how much has it
Yes.
changed over the time that you have been in business?
Oh, wow. Over in past decade, I would tell you a lot of things that happened. When I look at the original design of ALB, literally just less than 10 years ago,
Yeah.
just to show you how the vision has changed, is I don't recognize that. I don't recognize it because just over the past 5 years, the the innovative technology that happened made us much better.
Yeah.
Today, for example, I have a mobile app that I can just hold it, or my attorneys can hold it, record a time entry, and it automatically populates that on their dashboard, and they can edit it. I have an AI tool that will write time entries for the attorneys, make sure that entry is compliant with the client guidelines.
Mhm.
So, which was not the same. We use machine learning, but today we've some of the latest tools out there, some of the latest technology. I looked at the application that I had um, 5 years ago, even just 5 years ago,
Yeah.
let alone at the beginning of ALB, and I don't recognize it. I looked at the design, I looked at everything. I'm like, wow, what were we doing there? You know, but that was a starting point. So over the past 5 years, at least, a lots of things have happened. The technology advanced so much. Um, Today AI is more accepted, widely accepted. We have better technology AI wise
Mhm.
after. So we are also taking advantage of all of everything that's out there that we can um, to make sure that we give our customers the best product, not to be outlet.
Yeah, I think I mean, because you guys started 10 years ago,
Yeah.
I mean, just the technology has changed so much. And so
Oh
I'm
yes.
sure when you look at the original version, the version 5 years ago, that was probably the best technology that was possible,
But
the
then,
best design.
yes.
And it's just rapidly evolving. So,
Yes.
your job is really just to not rest, essentially, to not be okay with where it's at
And you cannot rest.
forward.
You can't rest in my industry. Yeah, and that's also to show how things have changed over the past 10 years. When I used to go to conferences, whether it's the ALA, whether it's the ADA Tech, I used to talk about my product. And people was like, oh, wow, we didn't know something like that existed out there. Fast forward 10 years later, when I go to conferences these days, everybody's like, oh, time entry compliance. Yeah, we know that. Oh, these people are doing it. These people, you know, things have changed. People learn. The industry is not what it was 10 years anymore because now people are fully aware of what we do. And now we have companies out there, and I know a few of them who are trying to copy what we do. And someone once said to me, a very wise man once said to me, I was a bit frustrated that why are people copying my ideas? He said, Andre, and this was a director of a very well-known company, global company. He said to me, Andre, I tell you what, then, you know that you're good, and what you build is very good. When people start copying, if nobody copies your product, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
You have some, and then us. Even with 20 plus years experience, to panic that why are people copying my ideas? But this wise man told me, don't worry about it. Yeah, if people don't copy your ideas, and then you don't have something good.
Yeah, I think also like you want other people like you want to see what other companies do and how they take it and
Exactly.
there's a lot of positivity and competition, I think, and it's
Yes.
also spreading the word about what your product is. So as long as what you're producing is, top of the line and the best option, these other companies when they're promoting, you know, the time compliance, they're
Yeah.
actually also like supporting your business a little bit.
Exactly.
Because I imagine in the early days when you were just launching, like you said, you had to educate a lot. So how did you get those first few customers to like buy in and start using the product?
It was very, very difficult to get them to actually use the product. People love the idea, but we are in an industry where if you ever work with law firm, changing their mind, changing the status quo is really, really hard.
Yeah.
They love the idea. They can see that they're losing money, but for some reason, people are not willing to change.
Yeah.
You get in the industry where you want to change people's habits, and it's very difficult. People don't want to change. So we faced that initially. And we were fortunate enough to have two or three very large law firms who believed in us.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And,
So you just
and they
had,
said,
were those connections you had made in your previous work, or were those like brand new connections that you were making?
Brand new, brand
Oh,
new.
wow.
So we reach out to managing partners of those firms and then we say, look, we have a fantastic application. We can help you do this, do that. And they say, okay, CFO, get on a call, talk to Andre and see what he has. And we had other companies that did not want to integrate with us. Right? They're larger than us. They saw us as competitors, even though they did not have a product
Right.
like we had. In the background, those same company wanted to buy my software, but
Mhm.
front, they did not want to integrate us. I don't know if it was a tactic to trying to make me sell the company to that issue. But one particular law firm, AM200 law firm, they've really opened up the door for us
Mhm.
because the CFO got on a call with us and then said to that particular big company out there, I'm not going to advertise them, he said to them, we need you to integrate with AI. And the management of that company said, well, we're going to charge you fees. And then I sat on the call. I said, no, we're not going to charge you anything. They're not going to charge you anything because we're going to do all the work.
Mhm.
I decided to invest my money to do the entire integration. I wanted to prove to an
Yeah.
AM 200 law firm, we can do this. Second, we will generate the solution, the result that will promise you.
Mhm.
And the CFO said to me, Amber, if you do, you have us for a very long time.
Yeah.
And we did. To
That's such
this
a
day,
huge risk.
they are
I
still
mean,
our customer.
it's it's such an important risk to take. And because ultimately, like what you got at the end of it as being successful is a case study, which then you can take to other
Correct.
law firms, and you have this big name behind you and this relationship. I'm sure you got a great testimonial out of it. But when
Yeah.
you took that risk, did you feel like it was a risk, or did you feel like, well, this is just what we have to do right now?
I didn't see it as a risk. For me, it was an opportunity. I was dreaming for having that opportunity. Just go out there, give me a chance. It was
Yeah.
all about give me a chance, and I'm going to prove to you what we can do.
Yeah.
Right. So I will invest my money to prove to you, to show you what we can do. And what we did, the law firm backed us. They were giving references to other big law firms. The
Hmm.
CFO would pick up calls and say, listen, you can sign up with Andre, you can sign up with that software. It's been generating result for us. And as I said, that firm believed in us early on. They're still our customer all these years. They're still using ARB application. And for some reason, they have not moved to the well enhanced version.
They just like
We're
the
not
original.
telling them about the enhanced version. We show it to them recently. Say, here, here's the latest technology. They're so happy. They are, this works for us and it's been giving us a tremendous result. We are achieving 98%, 99% compliance. We don't know what that other new software is going to do better
Right.
than this one is doing for us today. So they're not interested in changing, even
Right.
though we said this is much better than what you have. But they
Yeah.
said that the result is there. So for them, there's no need for them to move to a later technology if what we have, which tells me that even though that was our initial application,
Mhm.
was the best
Yeah.
I thought.
Yeah. Well, and it's still performing for them. So
Exactly.
like it's
Right.
that's
Anyway,
amazing.
and they
Yeah.
renewed the contract every 3 years. So they're happy. I'm happy.
Yeah. And that client, you were just doing cold outreach, you were just calling up random not random, but you were just calling up law firms and just trying to get on the phone with their
So
CFO.
initially, Kone, I tried different ways to approach law firm.
Hmm.
First, I tried calling people.
Yeah.
And when you're trying to call, you're not going to reach a managing partner, you're not going to reach a CFO, you're going to reach the assistant, they're probably not going to pass on the message.
Yeah.
So I try different things, different things. And I let it try something, which was I'm going to stop. Because at one point I was going even to the billing managers, saying these are the people who seen the issues, they know the problems. So they will bring this to the executive and say, give us this tool, wait, is gonna help us.
Yeah. Yeah.
It doesn't work that way. What I realized is I'm gonna try something different. I now went from the managing partners, now decide I go from managing partners, and I'm gonna ask them to push it down. And then once they push it down, those people are gonna reach out. Because now if we go through the top, and
Hmm.
the top believe that this is something that they're interested in, they're going to push it out. So they're going to expect somebody to come back and tell them what they thought about AOP. So I always went to the managing partners and said, please give me opportunity. Just allow me to show you what the platform can do. I just want to show it to your team what your platform
Yeah.
can do. If it doesn't work for you guys, that's fine. Just give me a half an hour of your time. You're okay. CFO, COO, billing director, get on the call with Andre, see what this technology is all about.
Hmm.
And now I have opportunity to actually show people the solution. We go over the problems that you have and we show you how we fix those problems for you. Now you have to report it back to the managing partner. So we found that by going from the top, we were very successful in
Oh,
getting,
that's really
yeah,
interesting. It's
getting
interesting that you were able to reach those people, even if it was just to be like, let's talk to people below you, and then they'll come back. But
yeah.
that's is that still the strategy you take, or is it a lot easier now that you have a reputation, you have, notable clients? Is it still kind of this cold outreach that you get the word out about?
it's still part of our strategy. Today we have customer coming word of mouth, referral. We have consultant that been working with us that refer
Yeah.
businesses. We have other management partners, CFO. So now a lot of new client also come through references
Right. Right.
from about other firms. So, but we still doing the same thing. We're still reaching out to managing partners and get start a conversation from there,
Yeah.
and it's still very successful doing it. We're
Yeah.
still getting client that.
Yeah, that's really interesting. And so, uh, when you first started, so 10 years ago, you said everyone's very hesitant. No one wants to change. But
Yeah.
now everyone knows what like compliance, AI compliance, that kind of thing is.
Yes.
Is it a lot easier to sell? Do you have to do less education then? Our law firms seem to be changing culturally to like be more accepting of AI.
I believe that it's a lot easier today, because something that you mentioned earlier, having competitors also make it easy because now other people, it's not just ALB that's going out there and talking about OCG compliance, talking about AI. This
Mhm.
other companies also talking about it. So now we also being put into some meeting that maybe another company started. They like, okay, we need to talk to another vendor. We need to talk to another company that does some similar thing. So we're now also being called to the table because of our competitors. So it's a lot easier today than it was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
People are more accepting.
Yeah.
And I also believe that COVID also kind of helped in the processing.
Okay.
Um, Initially, it hurt us a little bit at the beginning,
Mhm.
but I think once people settled and then understood that, hey, we can shut down the offices and then go work from home. Now we can also use this technology
Yeah.
because everything before was server based. Everything was locked up on the server
Right.
in the
Right.
office at a law firm somewhere. So there was no cloud. People weren't using the cloud services. So for us, coming into the market was, oh, are you going to be cloud? Yes. We're like, oh, no, no, no. We don't want cloud services. We want on-prem. Everything is on-prem. Everything is on the machine somewhere locked into. So nowadays, because lots of things in the cloud, it makes it also a little bit easier for us and for people to accept that, okay, you're already in the cloud, AirBase in the cloud, we can do business together.
Yeah, that's very interesting that COVID had that kind of impact where it just opened up people's minds a little bit to like what was
Yes.
possible and what could be secure.
It's
Um, and I wonder if I'm sure a lot of other tech companies experienced that during that time, and all it took was a pandemic.
yeah, no, originally it was a bit difficult. It was a bit difficult for, but when people started coming back into the office, we realized that there was a shift
Yeah.
in mentality. People are now open to talk about, okay, how can we do this outside our office? If something ever happen like this, we don't want to be stuck.
Mhm.
Lots of law firms today have moved into cloud. Um, Compared to what it was 10 years ago or even during COVID, 5, 7 years ago. So it's much better today and people are more accepting. Legal industry, I would say, they're still a little bit reluctant to, it's not like any other industry. They're very, very reluctant to accept new things. The acceptance rate has changed, has increased a lot over the past 10 years.
Yeah.
And I still believe that it's still a long way to go.
Yeah. Well, I imagine that like as generations like enter the workforce, like younger
Yeah.
generations, the
Mhm.
the way they look at these things is just different because if you grow up with technology, you're not as like nervous to
Yes.
adopt it. And 10 years ago, you were probably talking to people who like they'd have to be an early adopter to accept it. So
Yes.
hopefully it just gets easier and easier.
And that's true because when you look at law firm today, the youngster who's coming out of law school or came out 10 years ago, 5 years ago,
Yeah.
they're more adapt to technology.
Yeah.
Right? We still have some managing partners, some senior partners at firm who still write their time on the sheet and paper and then give it to the assistant to try to create a time entry that way. So we see I have a lot of people doing that, which is the reason why we came out, we built this mobile app technology that can help partners
Yeah.
or attorney such to dictate, and the AI is going to capture that entry for you. You don't need to sit down and write time entry because sometimes we came across people where the systems struggle with the time entry
Mhm.
because the handwriting of the partner is not as beautiful
Right.
as it could be. Right. So they're trying to figure out, they go two, three times with the managing partner or with the senior attorneys and say, oh, what did you say here? What did you say that? And so it's just a waste of time a lot between the parties. So with our mobile app, they can now record time entries, just talking.
Yeah. So what because you've obviously been doing this for a long time, been
Yeah.
around for about 10 years. Um how do you measure success now for ALB? Do you have like growth goals, or are you trying to just produce the best product possible? Like, are there specific metrics or milestones that for you indicate sustainable growth?
Well, personally, growth for me, because growth, everybody has a definition of growth. What is
Yeah.
growth for my company might not be growth for somebody else.
Mhm.
For me, growth is where are we today compared to 10 years ago? When I look at my company and I see all the wonderful things that we've done for our customers, the new opportunities that we created for people. Today, we over 100 employees, over 130 or something employees. We were so that for me, giving opportunity to youngsters, giving opportunity to return to work mothers, is for me is growth. I created this company to help people,
Mhm.
giving this opportunity. I have graduate in my companies. I have return to work moms that been home. They were IT. They work in an IT environment. They went home to look after their kid for 14 years,
Mhm.
and they come back to the workforce. Nobody can take them. I said, don't worry, you have a place at ALB. We have a number of ladies like that in our offices doing the work. So for me, that is growth. That is how can I help these people? And second, when we look financially, we look at our customers, what we generated for them over the past 5 years. We realized that we generated over $225 million savings for our
Yeah.
customers. That for me is growth. Growth for me is also looking at these people, our customers say, wow, we done this for you. Because of us, you are $225 million better off today.
Mhm.
And the time that you saved, which is, we can't quantify, because one thing we people have to understand is when an attorney writes a time entry and then you get billed 8 weeks late, you get billed 4 weeks, 5 weeks later, and then that bills gets audited 8 weeks later, and then you have to come back to that attorney and say, "Hey, we need you to provide a better narrative to to the time. We need all this information 8 weeks later." We saved them that time.
Yeah.
We prevented you from doing that, for going through that hassle. And
Yeah.
because we done that, your bills gets paid faster. So it better cash flow for the law firm. So
Mhm.
I can't quantify everything, but
Right.
the ones that we can, we know we saved them over $225 million over the past 5 years. So it will be a lot more over the past 10 years. Um, we don't know how many hours of a pure time between all these attorneys we save. We don't know how many hours we save the billing team, the billing
Right.
department. We don't know what we've done for their cash flow, right? Because we improved that tremendously. So there's some of those growth or that we can quantify today.
Yeah, that's so you're really thinking about growth more in like impact rather than like hard numbers. I mean, I'm sure the numbers of your business, like those are important to you, but it seems like you care more about impact that you're making on your team and on your clients, and that's really what you focus on when you're thinking about success for
Correct.
ALV. Yeah,
Correct.
that's amazing. Well, and like speaking of kind of your team,
Yes.
you've been the leader, you've been like the CEO, the founder of this company. How has your leadership style changed over the years, and what has been like the most effective kind of leadership strategy that you've taken?
Well, I would say learning.
Hmm.
One thing that I do is learning every day, and 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 then transfer that to my staff.
Hmm.
For example, some of the things that I've been putting in place in my company is helping my employees to understand the value that they bring to the company, and also to understand the value that they bring to the personal life. For example, I help them change the way that they speak
Yeah.
about themselves, about their colleagues, about the work that they do. And I show them how being positive not only impact your work, sorry, not only impact your work, but also impact your personal life. And there's certain phrases that you're no longer allowed to use in our company.
Hmm.
For example, you can't say, I will try my best. Because when someone says, I will try my best, what people don't understand is that 50% of your mind already saying you're going to fail. You're
Yeah.
actually telling yourself you're going to fail before you even go out to do what you're saying you're going to do. I said to my staff, switch that and say, I will make it happen.
Yeah.
And magically, it happens.
Yeah.
So I spend a lot of time in mentoring my employees, changing their mindset, how they see their work, how they see themselves. And I've realized that over the past few years, that change is impacting a lot on our growth. We now can deploy some of our technology faster
Hmm.
with the same people,
Yeah.
just because they changed the mind, the way that they look at something. When a task being given, nobody can say, oh, I'll try my best to make this, to complete this. No, they say, I will do it.
Yeah.
And you have to imagine 100 people say, I will do it, I will do it. That's 100 times. That's exponential.
Yeah.
So for me, that is one of my major impact on my staff
Mhm.
over the past 2 or 3 years. And we deploy one of our latest technology law firm in Philadelphia. The firm was very instrumental in the technology, but my team delivered within the time frame.
Yeah.
For the first time, we
Yeah.
delivered the full technology. This is a brand new technology. We deliver exactly and even a week ahead of time.
That's amazing. I mean, with tech, everything's delayed all the time. So
Is
that's pretty incredible.
exactly.
But it's like,
And
but
that
you're
was just a
right,
mindset change.
it's
Yeah.
all about the mindset and like
Yeah.
having people just be more positive. And honestly, like even just saying, instead of saying I'll try to saying I will do, like
Yeah.
that's just like forcing yourself to believe in yourself,
Exactly.
to hold yourself accountable and hold yourself to a higher standard, which I think is probably why you've had such a huge impact. Since
Exactly.
language is so important, the way that we talk about ourselves, like you said.
It
Makes
is.
a
It
difference.
is. Because you're talking to people know sometimes we don't appreciate this, but you talk to yourself more than you talk to people.
Yeah,
Even if you're not saying the same way, you're saying a lot of things in your head to yourself. And if people could just change the way that they talk to themselves, they see they easily have better life, they improve, they will grow. Um, just by changing the way that you think, the way you talk to yourself.
yeah,
Tremendous impact on our personal life and our business. I always coach my staff and say, look, there's no difference between what you say personal life and work. Look, people might look out there and say, no, I said there's not. Because we all spend the majority of our time at work.
Right.
So if you're spending the majority of your time doing something you don't love, doing something you don't like, you are spending your majority of your time being sad, miserable.
Yeah.
What kind of life is that? Do
Right.
something you love? Change the way you talk about yourself? You change the way you talk about people. And you see how your life suddenly start changing.
Yeah. I love that. I think it's such a good insight, and it's not that it's easy, but it's simple in like the goal, and it's an
Yes.
easy thing to identify negative self-talk. It's really easy to identify when you're being negative or not approaching things the right way. So
Yes.
that's a really good piece of advice for other entrepreneurs or leaders out there
Exactly.
that can make such a huge impact so quickly.
Because if you are there and you're a young entrepreneur, my advice has always been that you got to set your own goals. You got to know why you're going into what you're going into for.
Mhm.
It should not be only because I want to make money.
Yeah.
Because if you go in, I never seen an entrepreneur start saying, "Oh, I'm doing this because I want to make money." You
Right.
will fail because there's gonna be some challenges that you need something more than money to pull you up
Yeah.
and make you keep going. And if your A is money, you fail.
Yeah.
I guarantee you fail because not there's so many challenges as we discussed earlier. You need to pick your goal and set them up.
Right.
And also you need to know how to find what you define as success.
Right.
Success, as I told you earlier, growth for me is different from growth from somebody else.
Hmm.
Success for me is different from success from somebody else. Initially, there were small goals for me, very, very tiny goal. My goal could have been, hey, I've done a demo today and somebody said this application is good. Even if you don't buy it,
Right.
you give me positive feedback. I hold on to that
Yeah.
and I build on that. So, and that for me was my small, very, very small goal. Don't set them too high.
Hmm.
Just a time, it could be just somebody telling you something positive. You say, thank you very much. I achieved something really good. Hold on to that.
Yeah.
Build on that. Because tomorrow someone else will say, hey, this is rubbish.
Right.
Right.
But if
And
you
you
hold
go,
on to the good stuff too,
yeah.
it evens it out way more.
And that's again where your mindset is comes in because when you hear the word that is rubbish, you think about the one that told you 2 weeks ago, that was fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you built on it.
Yeah.
Again, it's your mind.
It's all, yeah,
You
all that
got to have the
mindset.
right mind. And it's something that I believe a lot of people can do.
Mhm.
Um, if you offer the challenge, if you also let us not deny the fact that you're going to be prepared to work very long hours.
Yeah.
Okay. You have to work very long hours. There are times that I work 18 hours, 20 hours, 21 hours.
Yeah.
Right. So it happens.
Right.
You
Right.
also have to be prepared for that.
Yeah.
And also be prepared working long hours and not getting paid for
And that's if your main goal is money,
it.
like all of that
Exactly.
stuff, it's just
Yeah.
like that's where you're gonna fall apart and you're gonna give up. So you have
Exactly.
to have a bigger goal in mind, some kind of impact that you're making to
Yes.
keep moving you forward. And
Yeah. You
yeah,
have to have something that drives you, right?
yeah,
You have to have something that drives you far better than you're not doing for yourself. Um, I set goals. I looked around and was like, okay, I'm helping this family, I'm helping my employees, they're now a better position, their family is in a better position. That makes me get out of the bed every day. And sometimes you also have to look at it and think, all right, every decision that I take impacts hundreds of people.
Yeah.
Uh, but you try not to think about that one. You try to think more positively. Okay, I'm going to change their life. Whatever
Yeah.
we do here is going to change their life. It's going to change the way, and people are going to use this joining our company as a stepping stone to get into the work, you know, work, into work and everything. So you have to find your own ways, if you can say it, or what do you believe to be the reason for you to do this?
Yeah.
And if you don't have that, there's going to be a problem.
Yeah. Well, so looking ahead then, because
Yes.
when you think about your impact and you've had all this experience over the last 10 years, what are your plans for accurate legal billing in the next 5 years?
Wonderful. That's a very interesting question. I don't know what I'm planning for 5 years. I'm gonna tell you
It's really
beforehand.
hard to have 5-year plans now just with the way technology
Yeah,
is moving.
I've seen people saying that, oh, I'm gonna plan for this, I plan for that. And I think an investor was talking to me the other day. I'll come back to your question.
Mhm.
And then he asked me for a business plan. Said, I've been doing this for 25 years. I don't need to present a business plan. Go to the people who just graduate from school,
Yeah.
ask them for a business plan. I built several companies. Don't ask me for a business plan because I will never give you one. My business plan is my resume. Look at everything that I built. So I don't really know where we're going to be 5 years from now. But one thing I can tell you is that we'll continue to innovate. We continue to support our client. We continue to grow our business.
Mhm.
Right now, we're adding another company to our portfolio because they knew we want to challenge two other big players in the market today in the e-billing world. So we're using AI to vector review invoices, and we're going to disrupt things.
Mhm.
That's so much I can tell you.
Yeah.
We have technology that we're building and we're deploying, and we're going to disrupt a lot of the industry.
Awesome. That sounds good to me. I think you have the proven track record and kind of a clear path forward just to kind of stay on top of the technology and keep talking to your clients and figure out what they need. So that's all makes
Is-
sense.
Exactly.
So where can people find you online if they want to connect?
Um, you can visit our website, accuratelegalbilling.com. You can find me on LinkedIn, and that's the only social media platform. LinkedIn or Twitter; those are the only social media platform. Um, I don't have time for a lot of social media. I wouldn't even know
Yeah.
about certain things. I never had an account for like Instagram, all these kind of things.
Yeah.
So my kids always say, "Dad, we can't find your social media." I say, "Well,
That's that's okay.
I believe it's a good thing for me."
Yeah.
So um, you can go to our website, um, and then you find me there on our website, like we're bigger billing. You can easily reach out to me um, on LinkedIn. I respond to my messages,
Mhm.
and also we certainly in the next week or so we're gonna have our newest company um, live online for people. So there's gonna be another disruptor to the e-billing, and
Mhm.
it's called e-billing submissions. Um, we're gonna make it really easy and better and cheaper for law firm to submit their bills into the e-billing systems. Um, you imagine today being a law firm, let's say you submit 400 invoices
Mhm.
and you have to e-bill, and then you have 35 e-billing systems that you have to go to. So what law firm doing today is that they have to have maybe two or three people in-house to do that. With our technology, you can have one person and they can upload these invoices into all the various application, and they can see all the results, and they can do a lot more than that
Yeah.
in terms of metrics and also in terms of feedback that they get from those e-billing systems. So you no longer have people going to 35 different e-billing portal to do the same thing 35 times. And now they can go into one portal, open it up, do what they have to do, see the result come back. And we've been listening to law firms, their pain point. So these new technologies, new solution is going to cover a lot of that. Is going to be a relief for a lot of firms, whether you're big or small. And we know that our competitors do not have that solution because the firm that are using our competitor, they're coming to us and say, we love to have this.
Yeah.
And this is how we started building this for them a couple of years ago. Now it's going live, ready for them to use. And we've been doing a press release in a couple new weeks ahead and to let people know about the platform income.
Amazing. Well, congratulations
Thank,
on that launch, and I'm sure it's a
thank
very
you.
exciting time for you guys right
Mm.
now, and hopefully will lead to a lot more growth and a lot more impact overall. Um,
Thank you.
so we'll also link to your website and to your LinkedIn
Yes.
when we post this, so people can find you pretty easily. And thank you so much
Yeah.
for being on the show today, Andre.
You're welcome. Thank you, Courtney. Thanks so much for having me. Thank you.
Amazing. And thank you, everyone at home or on the go, for listening. And if you enjoyed today's episode, please make sure to subscribe, share with a friend, leave us a review. And if there's anything you'd like to hear on an upcoming episode, just let us know. And for more insights and stories of success, please follow us on LinkedIn or visit rightleftagency.com. And we'll be back next time with more stories of innovation and marketing strategies to help you grow. See you on the next one.